Do you read here, but you haven't purchased or reviewed the Rational Male book? Here's my review, still in process. Most men want to have the kind of family like the author, Rollo Tomassi, does. From his written works, you'll learn that he has a lovely wife, and she still enjoys being married to him. And they have a teenage daughter that gets to spend a lot of time with dad. Rollo Tomassi is a successful man. His wife is well educated, has an amazing career, and people comment on their happiness when they're seen together in public. They're that couple that people wish they could be, because they obviously love each other, yet they're still young. My grandparents enjoyed choosing to be that kind of couple for almost 70 years until she passed away. He's still not interested in dating any other woman, and he's got plenty of offers. His woman is gone. She passed away a few years ago. If you've been reared seeing this kind of love in that couple that stands out, you've been looking for a resource like The Rational Male, but you've never found it. Until now. I can't explain why there's never been a book like this, but I can say that this one is saving marriages and relationships from destruction. It's based on research done in a way that hard science cannot understand yet. From the introduction in The Rational Male, Rollo Tomassi writes, "After having worked in design, advertising, marketing, and branding throughout my professional life, I knew that my minor, if later a double major, had to be in psychology. My initial interest in psychology was due to the want of a better understanding of the often difficult personalities I was forced to deal with in my career. So personality studies and behaviorism was a natural fit for me. Much of what I have compiled in this book is the direct result of over a decade of applying these schools of psychology to the gender dynamics I've experienced personally, as well as the collective experiences of millions of men around the world." Rollo Tomassi. Rollo Tomassi encourages open discussion through an unmoderated comment section. Each post receives hundreds of comments from his 7 million monthly readers. If you believe he is wrong, he wants to learn why, modify, refine, etc. Again, Rollo Tomassi makes it clear in the introduction. Most of the concepts you will hear in this book are the result of over a decade of debate, critical inquiry, and refinement. However, in most cases, I still encourage their questioning, and none are unmodifiable or above further refinement. Rollo Tomassi. So, The Rational Male is not a collection proving the rightness of all peer-reviewed stuff from well-funded studies. A study so vast and long-term would be too expensive for most universities. I respect that. Universities are super valuable. The Rational Male, instead, is based on the real-life stories of millions of people, mined from more than a decade of work put into a forum of ideas. Rollo Tomassi writes, "This forum would become my testing ground for connecting the dots I was beginning to become aware of. You'll love me and you'll hate me. You'll think, well, not in my case, and here's why. Or you'll think, wow, this is some really groundbreaking stuff. I'm not a psychologist, or a PUA, or a men's rights activist, or a motivational speaker. I'm just a guy who's connected some dots." Rollo Tomassi. If you only trust what's in scientific, academic, peer-reviewed journals, you'll be correct on countless breakthroughs. However, when it comes to relationships and marriage, whatever the journals have created has not improved the low marriage rates or the extremely high divorce rates. I'm alive and talking again because a man connected some dots. That man questioned all of the hard science, and despite all of the naysayers in hard science, he kept on saving lives through his choice to keep testing to find what worked. Because he did that every day for more than 33 years, I am alive today. The medical journals have recently published what he and his teams have discovered, which has saved my life and countless others. Don't get me wrong here. I believe that hard science is valuable. But with the advancements in fields like nanotechnology, Eric Donsky describes it best, we are commercializing a lithium-ion battery that can last 10 times longer on a single charge and can be mass manufactured, which can revolutionize consumer electronics, medical device, and automotive industries. Eric Donsky. In other words, you won't be frustrated about the short battery life of your iPhone, iPad, anything, your Android, Tesla, Lexus, and so on. The future is bright. And sometimes that future is built outside of hard science. I've always been afraid of being ordinary, so I have a 24-hour attitude for gratitude and a zest for learning. Eric Donsky. Rollo Tomassi knows the importance of attitude and learning, and this makes Rollo Tomassi, like Eric Donsky, able to see how to do the impossible, even when hard science and journals of academia disagree with his work. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. Steve Jobs. Hard science still disagrees, for the most part, with Rollo Tomassi. It's okay with him. He's seeing people's lives turning around because of his works. He's changing the course of human events. Rollo Tomassi makes money at the top of his fields of expertise outside of writing. When his readers have asked if they can donate to his blog, he sends them to a link to an outside charity. He asks that you not reference the Rational Male if you make a donation. Rollo Tomassi writes, "From the outset of my writings, I've never made any attempt to take financial gain from it, nor do I have plans to do so in the future. I don't do seminars. I don't do DVDs. What I offer at the Rational Male is for the benefit of anyone and to encourage public discourse about the often controversial topics characteristic of this blog. That said, if what I've written here on the blog has benefited you in a significant way and you'd like to show some appreciation for it, I would request that you make an anonymous donation to Gold Coast Greyhound Adoptions. I would respectfully request that you not reference the Rational Male in this donation. The amount isn't important, and you can donate via the PayPal link on their site." Rollo Tomassi. In the comment sections of his blog, I've seen hundreds of comments in which people have said something like, "I wish I had had this book a long time ago. My life would have been so much better." Well, now that book, The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi, is here. If you have a closed mind to new, exhaustively researched ideas, this book will be a wonderful source of comedy for you. That is, until you realize that you agree with some of the concepts, because you've seen them